Empty hearts and neon lights, they're playing with my mind.
Hey guys, hello and welcome to day 30 making videos. Almost a full month, I believe, and today is book day, where I talk about a book I've read recently and share with you some insights. And the book I'm talking about today is Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance, and it was my book club book chosen by Kerry for our last book club meeting. And the caption here is "A Memoir of a Family and Culture in Crisis." This book follows the first 30 or so years of his life of the author. It's a memoir, an autobiography memoir written by a guy who was like 35 at the time. And he starts off in the white trash culture of the Appalachian Mountains, in an exceptionally toxic, physically, mentally, emotionally toxic environment, where his mother has got real issues, his father has real issues, his siblings have real issues, and all white trash. Almost nobody works. Mountain Dew gum disease is prevalent amongst all the people there. His life is sort of ruled by his grandmother. His mother attacks him at one point, and the grandmother steps in, and the boy himself reports it to the police, or the police come while it's happening because he calls the police at a neighbour's house. The grandmother steps in and makes the boy tell the police that nothing happened and overrules, but the grandmother herself then orders the mother to give the boy to her custody, so basically the boy spends the rest of his life with his grandmother. He grows up, does very, very poorly in school. To do well in school is to be considered homosexual, so as you'd imagine in this sort of culture, it's very hard for him to do well in school, and he didn't go to school a lot. Truancy officers were always around. He graduated from high school and realised that there was nothing really for him there in where he grew up. He was bouncing around different places, and the turning point of his life was him joining the Marines. He joined the Marines because he met a recruiter. The recruiter offered him a way out of the situation, toxic culture he was in, and the Marines changed him. And I learned a lot about how the Marines change people for the better. At least in my mind, there's a sort of stigma about people who just go into the army after high school because they've got nothing better to do. The Marines really saved his life. He changed his life, turned it around. The Marines start with the assumption that you know absolutely nothing, and in this kid's case, he really did know absolutely nothing: how to cook, how to clean, how to shave, how to present himself, how to conduct himself, how to go to... So the Marines take you, they tear you down, they build you up, and he came out of the Marines after 6 years, and he went to school at Ohio State University. Ended up graduating from there with a political science degree, and then applied to law school, and he got into Yale Law School. A very, very, very high-flying, powerful lawyer. The book really goes through those relationships with his family, even while he's gone and he's there. At least from my perspective, there was a lot to relate to in this book. It was a very powerful and sort of emotionally gut-punching read. Solid book. Would encourage you. Not very long, as you can see, written in a very easy style. I mean, it's kind of strange to have an autobiography out when you're only like mid-30s, but that's the nature of his life so far, and it was well written, a bestseller immediately when it came out. There's a little line here, I'll show you. The family saga of Hillbilly Elegy plays out. We learn that his grandparents, aunt, uncle, sister, and most of all his mother struggled profoundly with the demands of middle-class life, never fully escaping the legacy of abuse, alcoholism, poverty, and trauma so characteristic. So his family sort of became middle class, but couldn't handle it, and so of course they careered back down into lower class. And he himself, now that he became a top-flying lawyer with a law degree from Yale, found it really hard to adapt to normal, like to high-class life. And his wife is actually from India, so she sort of had the same issues, and I think they sort of bonded over the same problems adapting to high-flying societies. Very, very interesting read though. Check it out. See you guys tomorrow.